Many of us spend countless hours being our own harshest critics, scrutinizing every action, every decision, and even every thought. We replay past mistakes in our minds, often exaggerating them, and we allow self-doubt to quietly erode our sense of worth. This inner critic can feel relentless, convincing us that we are not good enough, not capable enough, or not deserving of happiness and success. Yet, what if there were a way to transform this inner voice from one of criticism into one of encouragement? What if, instead of constantly finding fault, we could guide ourselves toward compassion and understanding? Drawing inspiration from Dr. Joseph Murphy, we begin to understand that the mind holds incredible power in shaping our reality. The thoughts we habitually entertain influence our emotions, our behaviors, and ultimately the results we experience in life. Murphy emphasized that cultivating positive, supportive mental patterns is not just a nice idea. It is a practical pathway to building genuine confidence and self-assurance. The first step in this transformation is recognizing the patterns of self-criticism that have become automatic. Perhaps you notice that after a small mistake at work or school, your mind immediately tells you that you are incompetent. Maybe when you look in the mirror, you focus only on perceived flaws rather than your strengths. These thoughts, though seemingly harmless, chip away at self-esteem over time. Dr. Joseph Murphy's teachings remind us that we are not our thoughts, but we have the power to guide them. By becoming aware of critical self-talk, we can consciously choose to respond differently, creating space for compassion instead of condemnation. The shift may feel subtle at first, but small changes accumulate quickly, and the cumulative effect on inner confidence is profound. Developing competence in skills that matter to you also plays a key role in this process. Confidence is not simply a feeling. It is a reflection of ability and preparation. Murphy often highlighted that belief in oneself is strengthened when it is grounded in tangible achievement. Identifying areas where you wish to grow, whether professional skills, creative pursuits, or personal development practices, allows you to invest in yourself intentionally. Every small step of progress, every new skill mastered, becomes a building block for self-assurance. When self-compassion accompanies this growth, you create an environment where mistakes are seen as opportunities to learn rather than as evidence of failure. You begin to understand that your value is not determined by perfection, but by your willingness to try, to learn, and to nurture yourself along the way. Cultivating self-kindness is an essential complement to skill building. It means speaking to yourself in ways you would speak to a close friend, gently, patiently, and supportively. Dr. Joseph Murphy encouraged this practice as a cornerstone of personal transformation. When we replace harsh criticism with compassionate language, we not only reduce anxiety and fear, but also strengthen our belief in our potential. Exercises such as journaling positive affirmations, pausing to acknowledge achievements, or even practicing brief moments of meditation focused on self-appreciation can reinforce this mindset. Over time, the habit of self-compassion transforms the relationship you have with yourself. Instead of being a source of doubt, you become a source of encouragement, steadily building resilience and authentic confidence that can sustain you through challenges, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty. Once we begin to recognize our patterns of self-criticism and intentionally shift towards self-compassion, the next step is learning to embrace the practical application of these principles in daily life. It is one thing to understand the concept intellectually. It is another to live it moment by moment. Dr. Joseph Murphy often emphasized that our thoughts are like seeds. What we plant and nurture in our mind determines the reality we experience. If we continually plant seeds of doubt, negativity, and harsh judgment, we cannot expect confidence, joy, or success to flourish. But when we consciously choose thoughts of encouragement, understanding, and kindness, we cultivate an inner environment where confidence can grow naturally. This requires practice and patience, because old habits of self-criticism are deeply ingrained and often feel automatic. However, through consistent effort, the mind learns to shift, gradually replacing harsh self-talk with supportive and uplifting language. One practical way to do this is by creating small, achievable goals that reinforce your sense of competence. Confidence is built through experience, through repeated demonstration to yourself that you are capable. Dr. Joseph Murphy's philosophy teaches that by focusing on what you can do, rather than what you fear you might fail at, you direct your mental energy toward positive outcomes. Even minor accomplishments, completing a task on time, learning a new skill, or handling a difficult conversation with patience, serve as proof that you are capable and resilient. Each success, no matter how small, counters the negative narratives that self-criticism perpetuates. Over time, these positive experiences accumulate, creating a foundation of self-assurance that is rooted not in wishful thinking, but in tangible evidence of your abilities. Another key component is learning to respond to mistakes and setbacks with understanding instead of judgment. Life inevitably presents challenges, and the ability to navigate them without being consumed by guilt, shame, or self-blame is a hallmark of true self-compassion. Dr. Joseph Murphy encouraged the practice of seeing mistakes as lessons, opportunities to refine your skills and deepen your understanding. When you treat yourself with the same patience and encouragement you would offer a loved one, you reduce anxiety and self-doubt while simultaneously building resilience. This mindset fosters a growth-oriented approach where every experience, success, or failure becomes a stepping stone toward a more confident, capable self. Developing a daily practice of self-compassion can reinforce these changes. Simple exercises, such as speaking kindly to yourself in the mirror, repeating affirmations that focus on your strengths, or journaling moments of personal achievement, create a lasting shift in how you perceive and relate to yourself. Meditation and mindful reflection further support this process by helping you observe critical thoughts without becoming entangled in them. By consistently nurturing these habits, the mind gradually replaces patterns of self-criticism with patterns of encouragement, building an inner foundation that supports lasting confidence. The transformation is subtle at first, but profound over time, as you begin to internalize the truth that you are worthy of kindness, capable of growth, and deserving of self-respect. Ultimately, this journey is not about perfection. It is about conscious, compassionate engagement with yourself. Inspired by Dr. Joseph Murphy, we learn that confidence is less a trait we are born with and more a skill we cultivate through intention, practice, and patience. By embracing both competence and compassion, we move steadily from a mindset of doubt and criticism to one of self-assurance and inner strength, creating a life where personal growth and self-belief flourish together. As we move further along this journey from self-criticism to self-compassion, it becomes essential to integrate practical habits that reinforce confidence every single day. Understanding the theory is valuable, but transformation occurs when ideas are translated into deliberate action. Inspired by Dr. Joseph Murphy, we recognize that the mind responds to repeated patterns. What we focus on consistently shapes our beliefs, emotions, and behaviors. One of the most effective ways to strengthen self-compassion is to consciously replace negative internal dialogue with constructive, nurturing statements. For example, instead of thinking, "I always mess things up," try acknowledging, "I am learning and improving with each experience." This subtle shift may feel unusual at first, but with practice, it rewires the mind to focus on growth rather than fault. Over time, the accumulation of these small mental adjustments builds a powerful reservoir of inner confidence that can sustain you even in challenging moments. Another important strategy is the cultivation of personal resilience through self-kindness. Dr. Joseph Murphy emphasized that life's challenges are not obstacles to success, but opportunities for growth and deeper understanding. When we approach setbacks with compassion, we reduce the stress and anxiety that often accompany failure. Instead of blaming yourself or dwelling on mistakes, you can pause, reflect, and identify what lessons can be taken from each experience. For example, if a project does not go as planned, rather than harshly criticizing yourself, acknowledge your effort and explore ways to adjust your approach moving forward. This approach transforms each moment of difficulty into a chance to build confidence, reinforcing the idea that your value is not dependent on flawless performance, but on your ability to persevere and adapt. Daily exercises in self-compassion are another cornerstone of lasting confidence. Simple practices like journaling your achievements, however small, help you recognize and celebrate your progress. Repeating affirmations that focus on your strengths and potential encourages the subconscious mind to accept positive beliefs about yourself. Meditation or mindfulness exercises can also help you observe critical thoughts without becoming entangled in them, allowing you to respond consciously rather than reactively. Dr. Joseph Murphy taught that consistent repetition of positive thoughts and mental images gradually shapes reality, strengthening both inner confidence and emotional well-being. The key is consistency. Like any skill, self-compassion and confidence grow through deliberate, ongoing practice. Equally important is learning to set boundaries with yourself and others. Self-compassion includes protecting your energy and not allowing negative influences, whether external criticism or internal judgment, to dominate your mindset. By prioritizing your mental and emotional well-being, you create a safe internal environment where confidence can flourish. You begin to trust your own judgment, make decisions with clarity, and approach life with a sense of calm self-assurance. Ultimately, the journey from self-criticism to self-compassion is a process of conscious self-investment. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to practice kindness toward yourself, even in moments of imperfection. Inspired by Dr. Joseph Murphy, we learn that confidence is not a fleeting emotion but a cultivated state of being, rooted in understanding, self-acceptance, and the belief that we are capable of growth. By integrating these practices into daily life, you gradually transform not only your thoughts, but your entire relationship with yourself, creating a life guided by self-respect, resilience, and authentic confidence.